Welcome to this Techno Gandhian Process Model web app. This is a web application specially designed for the use of public, professionals and volunteers to serve their socio-political duties in a responsible, non-violent way. It is a guiding tool for their self-development and social advancement. It is an innovative process model for social political change towards achieving socio-political role and responsibilities through the means of Gandhian ideology and ethically morally driven process. This website has three parts: the learning part, the processing part, and finally the evaluation part. In the learning part, users are required to learn the Techno Gandhian philosophy and understand its aspects and concepts. As a part of the resources, the life and principles of Mahatma Gandhi are given below here in the form of live photos, books and media, both audio and video. So with these resources, users are required to learn the philosophy and understand the concepts. The second part of this process model is practice. This part comprises of a set of 5 activities. First one being the questionnaire on the TGP. Second one, reflection on the TGP. The third, sample models of actions. Fourth, the real world actions. And lastly, focusing and tackling with issues. So users can perform these activities until they complete the process and come out of the process successfully. The third part of this process model is evaluation. It has 2 pages. In the Check My Ratings page, users can evaluate the progress they made in each activity. In the Statistics page, the overall information about all the users participated in this process model can be seen. To begin with, users must do the registration in order to do this process model. So by supplying the username and the password along with other details, a new account can be created. However, in order to learn the Techno Gandhian philosophy, users need not have to sign up first. By clicking the link sign in, the sign in page opens up here. You can see the login information along with recent actions done by members. So this is a list of real world actions and events performed by various users, registered users in activity 4. In this activity 4, real world actions, users are registering their actions. That is listed here. So I will come to that in the later part of this video. Now let us do a sign in by supplying a username and password. Say for example, I am giving my username and click the login button. Yes, welcome BPS. So login is done. To learn the Techno Gandhian philosophy, users can open this overview page. Here the philosophy is given in 4 different sections. The first one being the principles of TGP. Here 5 core rules of TGP and 5 ways to identify the right technology, 7 vows one needs to pledge and practice. So the underlying principles, the concepts of the Techno Gandhian philosophy are given here in the principles of TGP section. The second one, III technologies. III refers to innate technology, intermediate technology, and indigenous technologies. To practice Techno Gandhian philosophy, users must follow and use one of these technologies. The third section, sustaining Gandhian values. It talks about what is sustainable development and what are the issues perceived by Gandhiji in order to maintain sustainability. What are all the factors that influence sustainable life? The technology factor and economic factors are discussed here. And finally, how this TGP contributes to sustainability is also explained. The fourth section, green computing. Green computing or green technologies. Since I am from IT background, green computing is being discussed here. But the underlying concepts of green are one and the same for every industry. So like other industries, manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, refinery, chemicals, fertilizers, any industry, if you take any industry, green technology, thinking green is applicable for all industries. So in this section that is being discussed and how TGP initiatives promote green technologies. The whole philosophy is available in the form of e-book. So users can download the PDF file here and read it elaborately. On clicking the slideshow, we have some visual slides to understand the concepts. So on clicking these headings, each slide shows up, and so this is the first part of the TGP model. So learning the Techno Gandhian philosophy. Having read and understood about the Techno Gandhian philosophy in detail, user is now ready to take up this process in the form of activities. The first activity, questionnaire on the TGP, has 30 objective type questions. So each question has one correct answer, and user can choose the answer by clicking these buttons. And finally, after answering all the questions, by clicking the save button, all the answers are submitted. So this activity scores a maximum of 30 points. The second activity, reflection on the TGP, is about your feedback and response on the philosophy. It is an introspection and self-assessment kind of activity. So you need to answer about in what areas of the philosophy you feel strong or weak, and in what areas you feel difficult to understand or easy to understand, and how you plan and pursue the Techno Gandhian process model. So this activity has 15 questions. Some of them have multiple answers and some others have one single answer. One important question here is the last one, which asks you about the goal and objective of taking up this process model. To attain which of the following positions do you take up this Techno Gandhian process model? So we have answers like social activist, social reformer, social worker, people representative, government servant. So out of these 5 choices, you have to decide in this activity for which goal, for which of these objectives you are working on this process model. So after answering all these 15 questions, by clicking the save button, your answers are submitted. The third activity, sample models of atoms. Here the user has to match the historical events and actions with the appropriate picture. In this page, on the left hand side, you have a box listing the themes representing the actions and events. There are 12 in numbers. Below that, 12 images are presented in an assorted way. So what the user has to do is select a theme from the below list and then click the right picture associated with that theme. So the matching theme and picture will be added to the right side list. Say for example, I am choosing one theme, the first one, inspiration and social activism, and choose the picture associated with that. So that is added to the box on the right hand side. I choose one more theme, say for example green computing and innovation, and choose a picture, click on that picture, that is also added. If you make the right choice, then only it gets added, otherwise the wrong matchings are not added to the box. After completing the matching of 12 themes, clicking the save button at the end will submit all your answers. For real world actions, you see a list of actions already performed by the user. So an action is typically an event or task or work the user carry out in his neighborhood. So it could be of cleaning the garbage in his street, organizing a function or event, participating in a campaign, leading a protest. Such actions account for the progress along this Techno Gandhian process model to achieve the goals and objectives set by the user. To add a new action, user enter details like the title of the action, description, date, time, place, organizers, and other people involved in the action. Additionally, users can also add photos or documents pertaining to that action, and clicking the save button will submit all these details. In this way, user can enter any number of actions in this activity 4. Coming to activity 5, focusing and tackling with issues. In this page, user associate his actions with an issue or problem. Every action is towards resolving an issue. Issues are categorized and listed in these yellow box. Issue category is the area or platform for which the actions are addressed to. Similarly, the role played by the user in his actions is listed in the pink box. So if the user actions are towards one particular issue category, that means that he is getting specialized in that area or platform. If the user plays a single role in multiple actions, that means that he is specialized in doing that role. Here in this page, you see a list of actions already bound to issues. So some of the actions done by the user are associated with some issues and a role he played. Let us associate one action to an issue. For that, user must select an action from the list of actions on the left hand side. So let me select the first one and select the category. So in this case, I am selecting the action cleaning work associated to the environment, and my role played, say for example, worker. So here action, issue, role, these three things are related. Now the user has to answer certain questions like what is the actual problem in the issue. In the environment issue, we have problem, say for example, pollution. We have some other questions like how the actions would help resolving the issue and what are all the difficulties you deal with the issue. More importantly, we have a question on the Gandhian method, which the user believes and apply in resolving the issue. In this list, a whole bunch of Gandhian methods are listed: ahimsa, non-cooperation, satyagraha, negotiation, constructive work. So user has to choose one of them appropriate for his action. And final question, what is the current status of the issue, whether the issue is resolved, unresolved, in process, abandoned. So supplying all this information and clicking the save button would submit the activity 5. At any point of time, During the practicing of this process model, user can evaluate his progress in this check my ratings page. Here at the top of the page, assessment remarks for each activity if given in a tabular format. Below that, for each activity, the points stored by the user is represented in graphical format. From activity 1 to activity 5, the scores are presented in percentage, and average score is also given at the end. Scrolling down further, you see a consolidated evaluation report on the user, stating that in what areas of the issue the user is interested and focused, and what aspect of Gandhian ideology is specialized. Also, it shows the goal and objective for which he has put in efforts in this TGP model. For every issue, problems and actions performed is listed along with the issue status. If the user has performed actions towards one single issue, accordingly the problem and the actions will appear and it shows the status of the issue. Ultimately, it is the actions that work towards resolving the issue and the problem. If the user wants a certificate from our Techno Gandhian Center, you need to pass an online examination which consists of 50 objective type questions. For that, you need to click here for taking test. So all these questions are based on the life of Mahatma Gandhi, his London education, and his South African experience, and India's freedom struggle movement. All the 50 questions must be answered correctly in order to pass out of this examination. So submitting your answers, you get this page, final test results. To successfully complete this examination, user can make use of resources available here in this Mahatma Gandhi life photos, starting from his birth to his death. And also we have some books including his autobiography. Some media files are also available to play. In the statistics page, user can view the graphical representation of the consolidated information about the process model. Users can get some summarized data about the performance level of each user and the comparative analysis of the performance between the users. In the first chart here, you see the number of users working on various activities in this process model. The second chart, it shows the maximum ratings scored by the user in each activity. In the third chart, it shows the minimum ratings by users on various activities. In the fourth chart, it shows the ratings scored by individual users for every activity. With this, the Techno Gandhian process model demo is coming to an end. Learning this Techno Gandhian philosophy helps the people to maintain balance between technology and spirituality in this modern world. Learning and practicing the process model helps the people to keep track of their work in the socio-political arena and check their accountability, responsibility and morality behind their work. I sincerely thank you all very much for watching this video. Thanks. Bye bye.